start with Sarchos Tzadikim. So this lecture and all the segments of it is going to be dedicated to Refuah Shlema of our dear Rabbi Reuven, Yaron Ben Doris, Shlita, and also in Refuah Shlema, Yehudis Bas Noach, Ariela Ora Basana, Rachel Bas Brindel, David Shloma Ben Sandra, and all others who need Refuah Shlema. We continue Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. Somehow I thought that we finished this chapter, but we did not, Baruch HaShem. So I'm not sure. Okay. Right. So let's continue. We continue with Siman 75, and our topic is laws of lighting Shabbos candles, and we're up to the halacha number 12, and it says it is proper to place the Challos on a table before Shabbos candles are lit, as explained below, Siman 89. So we're on 75, okay, CF12, it's CF2, okay, no problem. So, okay, so again, it is proper that everything should be ready when the candles are lit. So it's not 100% obligation. Meaning, technically, if you think about it, we still have time. So we light the candles before, right? So minimum 18 minutes. So even some people accept to light even earlier than 25 minutes before the sunset. So technically, they have a lot of time and enough time to set the table. Okay. So if they can to prepare Challos, right, to set it in place, right. But if not, it's also fine, but it's proper to do so. Okay, so let's see. 49, commentary. Mishnah Berurah 265.7 cites Ilya Rabbah, which says that if it is not only designated, if he not only designated the container to hold the oil, but also some oil had already dripped into the container before Shabbos. Apologize. Sorry. So it's 49. The loaves of bread traditionally used for Shabbos meals, singular challah. Okay, right, no problem. Sorry. So again, to summarize, when we light the Shabbos candle, so at least challah. So maybe the whole table is not set yet. You did not put plates, napkins, all the other things, because again, there is still time. So a man of the house would come home, like it depends how far the synagogue, but usually the men start praying 10 minutes after candle lighting, plus minus. So in some shuls are different, but in all of the shuls around me, that's the schedule. It's meaning they try to maximize everything. So you start praying at the same time. So by the time you finish praying, with repetition of Shemona Esrei, with Kaddish, so it's actually after the sunset, or so only a few minutes after sunset. So technically you can pray the Maariv right there. Okay. So what I'm trying to say, but he's going to come. There's maybe another, let's say average. Let's say it takes 15-20 minutes walk. So meaning that after candlelight, an hour and 20 minutes or so, the person would come home, plus minus. Okay, so meaning what I'm trying to say that she has an hour plus. That's my point to set up the table. But at least Challos, it's proper to set in place. Okay, that's my point. Okay, so halacha number 13. The halacha regarding blind woman is as follows: if she has a husband who is not blind, the husband should light the Shabbos candles and recite the blessing. If she has no husband and she lives alone, there is no one else to light the Shabbos candles. She should light the Shabbos candles and recite the blessing herself. If she lives with others in the same house and the others are lighting, the blind woman should light without reciting the blessing. However, if she is a lady of the house, she should light she should light first and recite the blessing, and after that the others should light and recite the blessing as well. So that's very interesting halacha. So let's try to understand. So from the beginning, and we will explain. BeEzrat HaShem. The halacha regarding blind woman is as follows. So meaning the question is that she does not derive the benefit from the lighting, right? We said there are two reasons why we light candles in honor of Shabbos. So meaning it would like you have candles lit, the room looks pristine, perfect, right? Beautiful, like Shabbos mood on one hand. On the other hand, we said for Shalom Bayis. Shalom Bayis meaning that you see where you go, right? So you see what's in your plate and what you taking in the plate, and you see where other people are sitting, right? But for a blind woman, there is these reasons do not apply. She cannot see, right? Okay. So if she has a husband who is not blind, the husband should light the candles and recite the blessing, meaning that as we said in the beginning of this Siman, that the obligation on every person to light the candles, right? But it's the custom is that the lady of the house, she would light. But in this case, but if he would be alone, for example, a person is not married or his wife is away somewhere, so right, so then he would be obligated to light. So now, since she cannot see and he derives the benefit of the enjoying Shabbos and enjoying candles and seeing where he's going, so right, so it's proper for him to light candles and say blessings, of course. If she has no husband and she lives alone, right? There is no one else there to light the Shabbos candles, right? So if she has no husband and she lives alone, so it's terrible situation. Right. So all of us have a problems in our lives. Some test. So just think about a person like a blind person alone in the house. I don't know. Right. I don't know. Okay, so right, if she lives alone, and there is no one else else to light the candles, she should light the candles to recite the blessing. So now we need to understand why she's allowed to say the blessing if she does not derive any benefit. Okay. Commentary. Even though she is blind, she may still light and recite the blessings, since the benefit from the light that enable those who assist her to make their way through the house. Mishnah Berurah 263:14. Meaning, maybe, right, so somebody is taking care of this woman. So, right, there is somebody who comes, and this somebody would use this light, right, and it's going to benefit them, and it's going to also benefit her. So that's fine. If she lives with others in the same house, and the others are lighting, right, the blind woman should light without reciting the blessing. So she still okay. If she lives with the others in the same house, maybe so there's no lady in the house, right? For example, she lives with your sister, possible, right? Right. So the sister would light, and this woman also would light, but she would not light. But she would light without blessing, because other people, for example, like your sister, who can see, so she already recited the blessing. However, if she's a lady of the house, so she's in charge, right? And she should light the candle first and recite the blessing, right? But others also, right? But after her, the others should light and recite the blessing as well. Meaning, they cannot go 100% by her blessing, because it's yes, she derives a benefit, but the benefit, her benefit is only indirect. So that's why. Okay, so that's why others should also light. Okay, no problem. So continue. Halacha number 14. A woman who forgot to light Shabbos candles one time, right? So we spoke about it, should light for the rest of her life one more candle than she was previously accustomed to light. Likewise, she forgot to several times. She should always light one more candle for every omission. This is a severe. This is to serve as a reminder that she should be more careful from then on. Therefore, if she did not light due to the circumstances beyond her control, she need not to add an extra candle. Okay. So let's read it again, explain, and add whatever more contemporary explanation, I guess. Right. A woman who forgot to light the Shabbos candles one time should light it for the rest of her life, right? One more candle that she was previously accustomed to light. So whatever, if she was lighting one or two, so she adds one more, right? So commentary say, if the woman who was accustomed to light more than one candle, negligent to light the full amount 1 week, she need not add extra candle in the subsequent weeks. Again, if woman who are accustomed to light more than one candle, so she lights 2 candles, negligent to light full amount of candles, so she did not light 2 candles, or let's say simple. So usually people light 2 candles, right? So with 2, and she decided to light 3 candles, like in general, right, on ongoing basis. And she forgot, right? She need not to add extra candle to the subsequent weeks, right? So meaning that the idea is it's not like she forgot to light completely, right? She forgot, she did not light for whatever reason. We don't know, forgot or not. That doesn't matter what the reason is. But she did light. She did, but a different number, but more than one. So 1 is the minimum. Proper too, but plus, and if you want to do extra, as we explained before, whatever she wants. It's proper for each child to light, but it's also if a person wants to light more for whatever, for other people, there is no problem. Somebody's close to them, their mothers, I don't know, some relatives, some people who do not light in the whole world, right? No problem. Right. So, but meaning if for example, a person took upon themselves to light 5 candles, but they lit only 2, there is no problem. There is no penalty. Again, the penalty only for completely forgetting. Likewise, if she forgot several times, she should always light the more candle each emission. So forgot. Meaning that she did not light on time. So maybe because she can light only up to the sunset. So even though you must know what this when it says candle lighting in your calendar and application, right? We recommend Maariv, right? It's a very reliable application, but you can use others, right? So it says for example, you missed it, right? So you check there what is a candle lighting time and what is the sunset. So any time before the sunset, you're still allowed to light, right? But be careful that your watch is calibrated properly, or you have electronic watch, correct. For example, if it's on a phone, most likely it's correct. But if it's you have on a stove, it could be 1 minute or 2 minutes. I mean, it's not. I mean, unless you have very expensive stove, but sometimes it's a little off. So we have a time on a microwave oven and on a stove, and sometimes it's 1 or 2 minutes. They have difference, right? So I mean, of course, you know approximate time, but it is approximate. But with candle lighting, it's very very strict. Meaning, if you light. For example, the candle lighting 6:15. If you lit at 6:14, you did the mitzvah. If sunset 6:15, right? You lit the 6:14, there is no problem. But if 6:16, like one minute off, that's it. You're out. So meaning you Michal Shabbos, in a sense, no, at least on a rabbinical level. Okay. So, but it is forbidden to light after that time. So meaning that it's not that the person, what I'm trying to say, completely forgot to light. No, it's like she missed the time of appropriate lighting. Even like 2 seconds later, you're not allowed. Not allowed to. And that's the problem. That's the problem. Mishnah Berurah says with an angry husband, right? The guy. So if he's going to come and see the candles are not lit, so he would go crazy, and she would scary woman, right? Poor woman. So she would light after the sunset. So she meaning that I would say how possible that she afraid of HaShem less than the husband. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. But it's husband's fault, not entirely her fault. Okay. Right. So this extra candle, this like would be a penalty for her to remind her until the rest of the days. Right. Be careful, right, and to light. So again, it's appropriate to even to light a little earlier. So meaning a little earlier than the candlelight. Take up on yourself 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it is. But so for sure you showed how important this time is for you. Okay. So we start in Siman 76. And our topic is the laws of the Shabbos and festival prayers. So I think we would need to have a Sidur for that. We'll see. Contains, listen to this, 23 Sifim. So it's very, a lot. Okay, so let's see. Siman 76, Sif number 1. So Halach number 1. It is customary to recite Shabbos Maariv prayers. There is Friday night prayer earlier than the weekdays. It is proper to do this to enable the congregation to usher Shabbos as early as possible. However, even if the prayers, if they're praying early, Maariv is not to be recited only. It is to be recited only after Plaga Mincha and on. Even those who are accustomed throughout the week to recite Maariv prayer in its ideal time, that is after the nightfall or later, may pray early Shabbos. So we're going to explain all of this because it's very important concept. And even if occasionally during the week they pray Mincha at the same time, at the same time of day, of which they're praying Maariv, of this now praying Maariv. Okay, this is not concerned with regard to Shabbos Maariv prayers, since there is a mitzvah to pray earlier, because with this prayer one adds time to the part of the weekday into the holy day of Shabbos. Okay, so as you understand, it's a lot of information and a lot of explanation. So let's try to BeEzrat HaShem explain. So from the beginning. It is customary to recite Shabbos Maariv prayer. There is Friday night prayer earlier than the weekdays. In the volume 1, I think that when we discussed daily prayer, so we said the Maariv prayer, it's proper to recite after the nightfall, whatever the nightfall is, whatever time. So many people, right? So, but in this case, you need to go to the shul three times a day. I mean, if you have a shuls like nearby and it's a lot of people, I guess there is no problem. And even in my shul, it's very interesting. There are a few people that were very makpit, very particular about it, and they would pray Maariv with us, and they leave after Maariv. Because why these guys prefer to pray Maariv at the right time. So we will pray after the sunset, which is allowed, right? But they would pray after the nightfall, the way I understand. Okay, there is no problem. I mean, it's not the only problem. That's a proper way to do. But whatever we do is also acceptable. Okay, but on a Friday night, So most of the people, not everybody, again, not everybody, some people, they insist to pray Maariv, even, I'm not sure why, because the Shulchan Aruch, it says clearly that it's proper to accept, to pray earlier. And plus, this Friday night is different from all other days, right? On all other days, it's not necessary that you have to eat with your family. Maybe you came home early, for example, if it's summer and you ate like your dinner earlier, right? There is no problem. But on Friday night it's appropriate. So nobody can eat in your house until you make a kiddush for them. So if you're going to, like, especially in the summer, sometimes that Shabbos ends like at 9:30 p.m. So if you only start praying 9:30 p.m., by the time you got home, the kids are like, everybody's tired. You're tired. Like, when exactly you would be like you would get up, like in the morning, when you're going to finish. So it's but still some people insist that's what they do. If you ask me, I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think so. And plus, these people, we're not going to mention, but who knows. So they tend to start Maariv very late because of this. They try to be machmir, like strict on one side. So and they become lenient on another side. And it's not only lenient. Sometimes they start after the later Shema is allowed to say, right? But other people, right, they start earlier according to the Shulchan Aruch, right? And they start the Shema at on time. There is a latest time to say Shema. So sometimes where we live, of course, it's it depends where I live, the time of the year. Sometimes it's on Shabbos, it's what is it, like 9 or 5? So meaning, so if people start, so some people start at 10 o'clock or 9:45. I mean, and many times, many times of the year, it's too late to pray Shacharis, or for sure you miss the Maariv, not the Maariv, the Shema prayer. But that's what they do, right? So I mean, we just try not to be, as Shlomo HaMelech said, don't try to be like too righteous. So do as the Shulchan Aruch says, it's proper to do earlier, so you do earlier. That's it. Okay. So continue. It is proper to do this, to enable the congregation to usher Shabbos as early as possible, right? So meaning so it's proper to pray in Maariv earlier. We say Maariv earlier on Friday night. So on the weekdays, do whatever you do. But another thing that we have to mention, that learn about the thing as a chazaka, meaning certainty. So meaning what? That you said that that if you did something 3 times, it's like a certainty, it's like you took an oath in some sense upon yourself that you're going to continue to pray this time. So if a person prays like Maariv in the right time, meaning after the nightfall, every time, right? So he should continue in this fashion, like continue, basically. But Friday night is exception. It's not that he's breaking an oath, but right, it's a mitzvah, right? A separate thing is to pray the earlier. Okay. So enable congregation to usher Shabbos as early as possible. So of course there is the earliest time, but as early as possible. So let's see. See above 75:1. So 75, we just, 75:1, 75 is candle lighting, right? Which states that the congregation ushers Shabbos during the Friday night. So even when they recite it before the nightfall. Since it is commendable to usher Shabbos as early as possible, the Friday night prayers are said earlier than those during the week. So meaning there is a special mitzvah to add to the Shabbos. So meaning with auch like a Jew can take something that is mundane, I mean in many cases, and make a holy. For example, when we had the temple, it was simple, right? You just dedicate this cow, this pillow, this blanket, this even you can dedicate a value of yourself or value of somebody else to the temple, right? So value not don't it's like not you don't dedicate your son to the temple. You dedicate the value of the son to the temple. So it comes coin, he does the valuation, then you take money. And same with time. So this time is a Friday, is a weekday, right? And then you said no, it's not a weekday. I'm going to add this time to the Shabbos to prolong Shabbos, meaning you made it holy, and it's proper to do so. So I'm not sure, and what is the explanation of these people who trying to to pray on time. But in my in where I live, it's I mean there is some quite a work, but at least there is one minion like that. At least that does maybe it's my guess. At my guess, it's a huge shul, so I guess they have several minyanim. But this one for all other people who missed it for whatever reason. Right? I had have a friend. I haven't talked to him for a long time, but he used to go to that minyan. He used to go because he's a very busy person. But family, like with small kids, he has small kids. They suffer. It's not proper. But well, okay. So continue. Okay. So right. So we can accept the Shabbos early, and plus, like after the Shabbos ends, so we try to prolong even 5 minutes. So don't rush like to your phone or as people who smoke to the cigarettes. Bravo, like just let it go, let it be. 5 minutes, and like at least show that you care. Right. However, when they pray earlier, Maariv is to be recited only from a plaga mincha. Right. So we said plaga mincha as when we discuss it's actually. It's 1.25 like seasonal hours before the sunset, and we spoke about it in when we did like in the last volume. When we finished volume, we went through the gloss at the end with all of the definitions. So it was one of the definition was plaga mincha. So 1.25 again in our application. This what is the maizmanim or whatever use, there is a time for plaga mincha. So it's very valuable. For example, somebody is single, right? A lady, she's not going to go to shul, so and she wants to learn, right? And she wants to do whatever the one she wants to do. So after plaga mincha, she can light the candles, accept Shabbos, eat and study and do whatever she wants, right? So now like or a guy, he's alone, so it's and there's no shul or person is sick. All right, so I remember when I was sick, or another time when it was coronavirus, when they shut down all of the shuls, right? So I would pray mincha like before the plaga mincha, and right when the plaga mincha starts, so that's when I start Kabbalah Shabbos. I mean, what could be better? Like it's with such enjoyable time. I would do it every week, right? Every week. So meaning you have like. Friday is over, so we have the whole night, like the whole evening. It's an unbelievable feeling. Continue. So okay, so earliest is plaga mincha. Okay, so again, it's seasonal hours, not like actual hours, but seasonal hours. When those who are accustomed through the week to recite Maariv prayers at ideal time, there is after nightfall. Or later, may pray early on Shabbos. So ideal time, it's after the nightfall. So what do we do? But again, if you want to pray Maariv in ideal time, so it's proper to pray with the minyan. Talking about men, proper to say to pray the minyan. If you live in somewhere, I don't know, in this that you have shul that constantly have a minyan, and there is some shul. You live in Mia Sharim or something. You live in Bora Park, some right there, like. Flatbush or some Muncie, right? Lakewood, some all of these holy neighborhoods that they have non-stop minyanim or like a late minyan. So right, right? So there is no problem. So you can do three times a day. But if it's like you have to walk, for example, 20 minutes or drive, and then there is no parking, so it's a big burden. That's why many people actually pray Mincha and Maariv together. So Mincha before sunset and Maariv after sunset. It's very convenient. That's what I pray. Right? But I'm very careful to say the Shema with all of the three paragraphs, everything after the nightfall. That's for sure. That's just because we're allowed to go by the more lenient opinion in that case. So because it's clear, nobody's arguing. Nobody argues that preferable way to pray Maariv is after nightfall. Nobody denies that. So what we do, we just repeat. At least I repeat the Shema. Okay. So even these people, they're allowed to pray Maariv early on Friday. Okay, so I'm going to skip. I think I explained this. Okay, so next comment. Although it is general ideal to recite entire Maariv prayer after nightfall, nevertheless on Friday night, due to the importance of ushering Shabbos earlier, so meaning you add into Shabbos, right? Many have a custom to pray Maariv before the nightfall. Not that when one does recite Maariv before nightfall, he must recite Shema again after the nightfall. In addition, if he did not yet begin his meal within half an hour prior to the nightfall, one should wait until the nightfall to recite Shema again and only then begin meal. I mean, this is it's my personal thing. It's a little burden. So what do? We just start meal on time, whenever everybody get together on Friday night, and we eat. And then I check time. I know what time. So between the meals, between the courses, I can say I can say Shema. There's no problem. I'm not holding anybody's back. Right? I'm all the rest. Like what is the problem? And so to say that it's the way to make everybody wait half an hour, sometimes women, guess what? They were cooking, they were taking care of the house. Many of them did not eat like the whole day. Maybe she tasted here and there, but they're hungry. Like kids are hungry, everybody's hungry. Like right, and nobody's allowed to take anything until the kiddush, right? So even though he said that it's preferable maybe to wait, so I would say like don't wait, start your meal, but remember, of course, don't drink too much wine or whatever you drink, and then say the Shema at the table or later on. But at the table, so what do we do? In order not to forget, we don't take the siddur off the table. So if the siddur is all on the table, so how can you forget? So it's like in front of you, like you would remember, oh, there's time came to say Shema, right? So it's very important when we do something and somebody is trying to be strict about something, so it should not be in expense of other people. Very important. Okay, so continue. And even if occasionally during the week they pray the Maariv at the same time of the day, which they are now praying Mincha, right? No, stop. They pray Mincha at the same time they pray Maariv. Okay. This is not concerned with regard to the Shabbos Maariv prayers, since it is a mitzvah to pray earlier. So meaning the way I understand he's saying here, that if we start Maariv even early, like after Plaga Mincha, somewhere, but usually at this time you only pray Maariv, right? And this time they start Maariv early, and this usually during the weekend. This time you only pray Mincha. Again, there is no confusion. Nobody's going to make any mistakes. It's everybody knows today is Friday. It's a totally different rules. So again, it's proper to add from mundane to holy. Commentary. The Mishnah Brura, right? See Brachas, Talmud Brachas 26 saying, there is a dispute regarding the end of the time for reciting Mincha, upon which it depends when the time for a Maariv begins, right? So I think we went in the details about this ideas in in a gloss of previous volume. But let's see. The sages hold that the time for mincha ends at nightfall. The sages nightfall. That's why some Hasidim they pray the mincha can do as up to the nightfall. Right, and few times I was pressed uh, because of circumstances, and I prayed the mincha. It was so dark outside; it's unbelievable. But this minyan is still going. Yeah, it was like 1 minyan before last. So they go like it's minyan. They call it minyan factory. Minyan factory every I think 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Maybe it's well, you can pray mincha in 10 minutes. I think it's every 10 minutes they do minyan every 10 minutes. So they don't in this place they don't say tachanun. So it's only Shmona Esrei, repetition Shmona Esrei, and Aleinu and Kaddish, and that's it. So can you do it in 10 minutes? I don't know, it's 10 or 15 minutes, right? No, I think it's maybe 15. No, does not make sense. No, 10 minutes too fast. So meaning the finish maybe 10 minutes, but the next minute start after like every 15 minutes. Meaning people have to get out, people have to get in. So in that place, I was praying, and somebody came and said, "Is it mincha or Maariv?" According to some opinion, you can still pray mincha, but according to most of the opinion, you can stay pray Maariv. Very interesting. Okay. So again, so it depends on machlokes. Sages say that you can pray mincha until the nightfall. After each Maariv may be recited. According to Rabbi Yehuda, however, mincha may be recited only until plaga mincha, meaning even earlier. Plaga mincha is 1.25 hours before the sunset, right? Till plaga mincha. And Maariv may be recited after that time. So that's why we incorporate this idea in the case of respect of Shabbos. Right? And Maariv, okay. The Gemara on page 27a, so this brachas on the next page, rules that one may follow either opinion. Somebody asked me either opinion. Nevertheless, Shulchan Aruch 2331 explained that one must always follow either of the opinion of the other, one opinion of the other. One may not recite Maariv one day and after the plaga mincha before the nightfall. Before the night, and then the next day recite Maariv at the same time, right? Mincha and Maariv. So it should be a person must take one over the other, but of course. So how did I do whatever I did? So I did because I had the separate stipulation. As always, it's proper to have always stipulation. So in case of the need, so I'm going to follow this custom. Unless there is a special circumstance in case of the need. So in this case, right, so I can do whatever needs to be done. For example, I did the same with Eruv. So there is an Eruv. Some people hold by this Eruv. Most religious people don't hold. Some people think that they're religious, they hold, but they don't know. But since there is some still hold by, so I told to myself, if needed, like I don't know, whatever situation, so I can hold. But in general, like under normal circumstances, I don't. Okay. So, and it's proper to do it with all other things as well. Okay. Again, so a person must choose one custom of the other, but this does not affect Maariv on Friday because it's different, right? Because it's halacha to start it earlier. Okay. Mitzvah, not halacha mitzvah. Okay, so commentary says right. So he said there is no concern on Shabbos Maariv. So what does it mean? There is, with regard to the Friday night prayer, even one ordinarily recite Maariv only after the nightfall during the week, right? In accordance with the opinion of the sages, may recite Maariv on Friday night before the nightfall, after plaga mincha, following Rabbi Yehuda. Right, so meaning we go like in the middle, like by the third opinion. So we actually say that that we recite mincha until the sunset, right, and Maariv after the sunset. Okay. So again, one more recite the Friday night before the nightfall and plaga mincha. Okay, following Rabbi Huda. Mishnah Berurah 267.3 points out, however, that even in this case, one should not recite both Maariv and mincha during the period between the plaga mincha and nightfall. So that's problematic. Like if you follow one opinion, that's fine. Another opinion, that's fine. But when you do like two things at the same time, it's like it is problematic. So you say if you follow one opinion, you say until this time it's day, until and after this time is night. It's understandable. We follow one or another. But when it said in the same time periods and day and night, so that's problematic. So let's see. Right, mincha nightfall on the same day. Since the time is either the time of a mincha or Maariv, not both. Common custom, however, is for a congregation to recite Maariv on Friday night during the time of Ben Hashemashos. Right, so Ben Hashemashos is after the sunset. Okay, even when the mincha has been recited after the plaga mincha. Right, see for the basis of the custom. Okay, but some people still they recite a Maariv even earlier than that, even earlier than the sunset. 1 second. Yeah, even earlier than sunset. So I guess I don't remember. I remember learning, but I don't remember. But there is still some opinion. But so Friday is exception. Of course, you have to recite Shema, of course, as we said, after the nightfall, but it's a different story. Okay. So many times when we go home from Friday night prayers, it's still very light. Of course, it's close to the sunset, but to say for sure that we pray Maariv after sunset, I don't think so. Okay. It is mitzvah, so continue. It is mitzvah to accept upon oneself holiness of Shabbos day, even before the actual onset of the day. Right. When the congregation prays early on Friday, they fulfill the mitzvah of accepting Shabbos through their prayer. Right. So, as we said before about the candle lightings. Okay, so I think. Right, it's too long, so I think we can stop here. So it's very, very interesting. The prayer. So I would ask for all of us to have Sidurim for next time. So in case of the need, so we can look up some things. Right. Okay. So let's do quickly laws of Yichud.